All right, the Lexus GX550 is lifted already. This is the Joust uh, edition. So this is the Joust concept, off-road concept. It's lifted. It's got a bumper down here. It's got these fender arches. So what does this mean? That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to get to the bottom line of why is Lexus doing this. And the first answer is quite simply marketing. And don't worry, we're going to get to everybody's question. What kind of lift kit did they put on it? What kind of shocks did they put on it? We'll get to that in a second, I promise. But let's go over why Lexus did this. They don't want to make the same mistake they did with previous generations of GXs, and that is have people going around thinking it's a soccer mobile or a soccer mommy's mobile. They want to finally advertise and get out to the masses what this thing actually is, which is a hardcore off-road vehicle. Formerly, the Lexus GX was based on the Land Cruiser Prado, and today this GX550 is based on the Land Cruiser. Yes, I know that's going to trigger a lot of international viewers that go, "Nuh-uh, the GX550 is a Land Cruiser Prado." And to that I say the Land Cruiser Prado is dead. Land Cruiser Prado had its own platform. It was a short wheelbase platform. That is all gone now. Instead, you get one TNGA-F platform. All of these vehicles are on the Land Cruiser platform. And the only thing missing between this GX550 Overtrail Edition and the Land Cruiser 300 GR Sport is the front locker and 60 horsepower. The rest is all Land Cruiser 300 GR Sport. So this is the closest thing you can get in the American market. This is a Land Cruiser, okay? All right, enough with the international market. Let's get to it. What's going on here? Let's start with what everybody wants to know is what kind of lift did they put on this thing? What kind of lift? And the answer is KYB. So they put on this KYB lift. I forget what it's called. It's got some weird name. Point is, it's got like titanium springs and adjustable KYB shock. So essentially it is a KYB lift. Now the interesting thing about that is your GX550 and the Overtrail trim is going to get KYB shocks anyway. So these are good shocks. They're Japanese shocks. KYB is Japanese if you didn't know, and they're same OEM supplier. And that's the whole point behind this Joust kind of concept stuff that they're showing off here. Is this is all Japanese stuff for the most part. So Toyo tires, you can see, everybody knows what these Toyo open countries are. They're Japanese tires. But the actual lift, the shocks, are going to be KYBs. Same thing you're going to get on your regular Lexus. So what's the point? Why did Lexus put on KYB shocks on their lifted GX550 if it already comes with KYB shocks? Again, they're trying to market this thing and get you excited, and then buyers of the GX550 excited about overlanding and off-roading. So they're kind of just, again, they're just trying to underline what us Toyota nerds already know what this thing is, but you know the general public or the majority, let's call them the masses, whatever you want, they may not realize what this thing is and be confused by it. So they're rubbing it in your face. They're making it obvious here. Now let's look at these wheel arches. Now you might go, oh, they put on some big black wheel arches here, but they really didn't. These wheel arches that you see here in black, this is the actual body profile. So they didn't stick this out anymore. The regular GX550 or Overtrail, whatever, it still has this profile. All they did was extend the black out here where you see the cursor. They extended it about, I don't know what that is. It looks like, what, 2 inches up and about 2.5, 3 inches up and out again. It's just to highlight it. It's not really, they didn't widen it. They didn't put wheel spacers on or anything like that. This is the quote-unquote stance of the regular GX550. They're just trying to keep the stance. They're trying to excite the stance people who who love such things. And not knocking you, if you will. I'm just saying, you know, marketing knows what triggers most off-road modifiers. And that is all this junk you see here. A 2 or 3 inch lift, put on some aggressive looking wheel guards and put on a bumper, which we'll get into a second, and then a roof rack up here. So they're doing all the junk. They are pandering to the overland off-road crowd, the mod crowd, and they're doing an excellent job at it because there's no question in anybody's mind what this is. Now, as far as the practicality of these quote mods, some of them are a little bit weird, particularly the front bumper. If we go and look at the front bumper, you'll actually see that the front bumper really is not doing much. So if we look here, we can see that this is not doing anything for anybody in America or Australia that off-roads, or anywhere, to be quite honest. It's just for show. And they know, because it doesn't increase or decrease the approach angle, however you want to say it. It doesn't make the approach angle better. Okay, this is still low-hanging steel or aluminum, whatever. It looks nice, don't get me wrong, and that's what they're going for. They're just trying to get you in the mood for what you're going to do anyway, which is chop this thing up and do all this stuff and mods that you see here anyway. And they're giving you an idea of what it's going to look like. So don't take this as a one-for-one, this is what you should do. In reality, you'd chop this whole thing off. Well, not all of it, but you'd make this thing higher. You know what to do. You'd probably cut right here where the cursor is and come down, and you don't want this low-hanging bumper. But they're getting you in the mood. Now let's look at the side step is not a rock slider, it's just a side step. But again, they're getting you excited because they know you're going to put on a steel or aluminum rock slider, and they are showing you what it's going to look like. Now, why are they showing you what it's going to look like? Because Lexus is smart. They know that people do mods for pretentious reasons. Sorry, I had to say it. They know you want your vehicle to look a certain way, to express your rugged lifestyle as you go to the mall or the soccer field every other day. No, I'm just playing. You know what it is, okay? They are getting you excited about and motivated because they know you're into looks. There's no way to sugarcoat it. They know you're into looks. They know people do pretentious mods, and again, I'm not knocking these mods. You should be excited about them if you're that type of person. So some of these mods are impractical, like this low-hanging bumper. This could have been improved, but it looks cool to many people, and so do the wheel arches, and so does the roof rack, and so does the lift. And so, well, you're getting these open country tires anyway. I think the wheels are different. These are Japanese wheels, by the way. Check them out, GX. And this is what we're gonna kind of underline here, is if you want to mod your vehicle, your Lexus particularly, check out GX, okay? Japanese off-road service with this kangaroo logo here. That's made in Japan stuff. So before you go ahead and put on a Australian, in quotations, lift kit that's made in China on your Japanese vehicle, consider putting KYB shocks or KYB aftermarket shocks if you want to lift. In other words, use a Japanese lift kit. KYB being the premier top-tier Lexus shock. Now, in my opinion, Tokico and KYB are equal. They're both on Lexus. GX is the regular. GX550 trims get Tokicos, and the ones with AVS get KYBs. Whatever. They're all equivalent, in my opinion, KYB and Tokico. But if you're going to lift, and you want to retain the reliability of your Japanese vehicle, look at these sponsors here. Battles, that's the name of the shock. Now, Battles is just what KYB calls this shock. It's not what's a Battle shock? That's just a KYB. That's just what they call the shock. It's just the branding of their lift kick. So you can get these Battles or Battle Z, however you want to say it, shocks. You can get them from KYB. I believe they're available now for the 4Runner. If you do it on a GX460, you might have to mess around with the KDSS system by spacing it, whatever. And I'm sure KYB will offer their Battles lift kit for the GX550 Overtrail in the future as it comes out, because you can see it here. So consider KYB and all Japanese aftermarket suppliers before you go ahead and put on Chinese junk. This bumper that we saw earlier in the beginning on this vehicle and these racks up here, these are Japanese made. So they'll be aluminum, lightweight, and to Japanese quality. Now, I don't know who makes this rack particular, but go to Joust. I know it's hard to say. Sounds like Joust without a T. Joust, go to Joust's website and check out their roof racks, check out their bumper, check out their wheels, check out all this stuff. It's made in Japan. So before you add on all the obligatory China junk, like everybody traditionally does, hold on, and try out what JOS is doing. Remember, this is the same JL's team that put the the Lexus LX600 in the Baja 1000 race. So the JL's team is behind entered the the Lexus LX600 into the Baja 1000, and they won 1 year and didn't finish the next year. But the point is, all the aftermarket junk is tested off road. They race test this stuff, and it's serious stuff. Now, it may be unfamiliar stuff to many people because they go, well, I've never heard of JL's. I've heard of all the Australian King shocks and whatever the heck, the neon colored shocks made in China, engineered in Australia, made in China. You get what I'm saying? The Chinese junk that everybody puts on their car. You're more familiar with that, but take into consideration what Lexus themselves are doing. Notice their sponsor. Notice who they're backing here. Jouse, experience and new adventure. That's what they're putting in this new modified concept vehicle. So if there's anything I want you to take away is don't brush off Japanese aftermarket suppliers. They are going to retain your Japanese reliability and your top tier world market, best you can get as far as reliability, off-road capable and on-road capable flagship Lexus GX550. Don't write this stuff off. I know it seems unfamiliar, but check them out. It's the real deal. I know the shocks under here in the wheel well are black or silver, and that's not as exciting as neon green or neon purple. And I know the springs aren't bright red or bright pink or fluorescent purple. But these brands here will give you that Japanese durability, reliability, and quality that your new Lexus GX550 deserves. It doesn't have to look exactly like this. You can do whatever you want and make it look however you want, but consider retaining the integrity of what you paid for.